I believe you feel that Bradley Manning is a traitor and that he should spend a very long time in jail.
Hi, Shakuntala. Thanks for having me on the show today. Yes, I do think he's a traitor. I think he's a spy. The judge has now said that he's a spy. He's been convicted of most of the 21 counts against him. He's going to spend an awfully long time in prison. As Patty was saying, he faces up to 128 years in prison. And I think that the Obama administration has made an example of him. And I think that's correct because I think he was a spy. He was a traitor. I think he's involved in this 21st century type of warfare. And he's basically become a special forces soldier in the war of ideas. I think that, like Edward Snowden, he's trying to attack the United States. He's trying to tarnish our image and make things difficult for us. So instead of a whistleblower, I think he's really more like a criminal. I think he basically decided he was going to be the judge, the jury, and the executioner to basically give WikiLeaks 700,000 classified documents. We're talking military, intelligence reports, diplomatic cables, videos that were taken out of context and used for enemy propaganda. So I'm pleased with the judge's decision today.
He said, though, that he leaked these documents to inform the American public about U.S. foreign policy. How was he a traitor? Did any of the leaked information put lives at risk, for example?
Well, yes, I think it did, and I also think it just damaged the reputation of the United States. I think that if he was truly a whistleblower and was concerned with U.S. actions in the region, he could have talked to his supervisors, and if that didn't result in any concrete headway, he actually could have talked to his member of Congress. But no, he decided he was going to be the judge, jury, and executioner and release it himself. He fell under the sway of Julian Assange, the head of WikiLeaks. I think that's very misguided, too. Here's a guy who purports to be this human rights activist who's wanted on 2 cases of rape in Sweden. So I think that Bradley Manning picked the wrong set of heroes. He wanted his 15 minutes of fame. I think he was very immature and had personal issues. And I think basically he decided he was going to be the one to decide. He was going to be the guy in the spotlight. And guess what? He's going to pay with probably most of his life in prison.
Now, the judge, though, did acquit him of that most serious charge of aiding the enemy. She, for one, seems to have been convinced that he didn't have evil intentions in leaking this information.
I wouldn't say that he didn't have evil intentions. He just didn't have intentions that could be proved that he knew he was giving it to Al-Qaeda, for instance. But he did know he was giving it to WikiLeaks. He did swear an oath to protect and defend the Constitution, but instead he went around that oath. People in the military know you're not supposed to give classified information out, let alone 700,000 documents to WikiLeaks, which you know they're going to be published around the world. So it's a different standard of evidence to show that he deliberately gave information to a group like Al-Qaeda than just giving it to WikiLeaks. So it's a different standard of evidence to prove, but he does face over 100 years in prison. So I think that he is being made an example of, and I think it's good. I think it's good that the Obama administration is making an example out of him to try to dissuade other folks who want to be so-called whistleblowers, just like Bradley Manning, just like Edward Snowden, guys who the United States places a tremendous amount of faith and trust in, to violate that trust and go ahead and attack the United States in this battle of ideas.
All right, J.D. Gordon, thanks very much for speaking to us once again.